Good evening, I'm Tim Cooper. On tonight's British Forces News. The Prime Minister reaffirms America's total commitment to NATO under Donald Trump and the special relationship. Also tonight, Bridging the Gap, the project to keep village roads tank track free. The special initiative helping service leavers find a second career in construction. And why what goes up helps what comes down. Stay safe in the Inter-Services Snow Sports Championship. Well, almost. The Prime Minister says Donald Trump is 100% committed to NATO to keep Britain and Europe safe. Theresa May was speaking as she came under fire from Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn. He condemned the invitation for a state visit by the US President and accused Mrs May of going back on a pledge to speak frankly to Mr Trump. Our Westminster correspondent James Hurst reports.
Tim Cooper now begins our live coverage from the National Armed Forces Day event.
Hello there, good afternoon. Welcome to Armed Forces Day 2016. Welcome live to Cleethorpes in North East Lincolnshire. And welcome too, I think, to the Prime Minister David Cameron, who I believe is just arriving here after the events of yesterday, of course. That grey Jaguar in the front, I think, is swinging round, and the Prime Minister arriving at Cleethorpes. In the back of a Panther armoured vehicle, we make our way through the streets of Lashkargah. And this is our destination, Basharan School, some 15 kilometres out of Lashkargah, a vital resource for the local community and a landmark in the history of Guards regiments here in Afghanistan. In high spirits, the local youngsters joke with me, saying they're in the Taliban, but I'm assured they're all pleased to be going to school and understand that it's ISAF, and specifically the 3 Guards regiments who've overseen their community, who made it happen. Under the Taliban, there would be no education. Heavy fighting is continuing between Ukrainian government troops and Russia-backed rebels. It comes as the UN Security Council warns of a dangerous deterioration in eastern Ukraine, calling on an immediate return to the ceasefire. And as the BBC's Tom Burridge reports, the renewed fighting is having a severe impact on civilians in frontline towns. This is the quick scramble plane, its crew still waiting for the call to launch. Being on GCAS standby means that this Tornado is ready to go. A lot of the pre-flight checks have been done, so that when the call to scramble comes, the pilot and captain who sits in the front and the WISO, the weapons systems officer who sits in the back, can come out here, get in and get airborne very quickly indeed. It's been striking just how many veterans have made the journey across to Normandy. Of course, they're in their late 80s and early 90s and beyond now. But many have remained close friends from their wartime days, and our reporter Simon Newton travelled with 3 of them across the English Channel. They're called the Three Musketeers, and this is their story. Well, as another day's action gets underway in Maribel, the forces teams aren't the only ones working hard. The Piste Bashers are responsible for ensuring the course is safe and of world-class standard. Come dusk, the drivers hit the slopes in huge caterpillar tread machines, combing the snow from dusk till dawn. Hannah King joined them last night as they prepared Maribel for another day's racing. Secretary of State for Defence Michael Fallon talking to me earlier, trying to allay fears in the military community about what Britain's decision to leave the European Union will mean for our UK armed forces. You're live with Forces TV in Cleethorpes for Armed Forces Day 2016. Let's check the time. We are just about 10 minutes away now from the dignitaries arriving and about 20 minutes away from the big parade, which will take place behind me and we'll be bringing to you live. But so much has happened already today here in Cleethorpes, and the wonderful Humber estuary provided the perfect backdrop for some quite unique capability demonstration. They're very special hovercraft, specifically designed for the Royal Marines, but we'll get back to them later because the 2 ribs are edging ever closer towards the shore, and there we can see the first Royal Marines climbing out of the ribs. Bit of a lamppost in the way, always going to be the case. Creeping down, keeping their profiles low to the water. They don't care they're getting wet, this is what they're for. But still to come today, 3 Rifles have something to celebrate. First though, here's the Forces weather forecast with Alex Deakin. 20 Spitfires, 4 Hurricanes. Let's just take another look at them, Martin, because they're much better looking than I am. They will be taking to the skies a little later on today to pay tribute to what in RAF history and our history has become known as the hardest day of the Battle of Britain. So let's get a word now with one of the spectators, Alan Walsh. Hello, Alan. Thanks very much for talking live to Forces TV.
Hello there. Hello.
I gather you've come down here today for a very personal reason.
Yes, it's to...
Now let's return to the French Alps and leave you with a tri-services lesson in styling it out on the slopes. And just to reassure you, no one was seriously injured in what you're about to see. Bye-bye.